before and after?
Oh, I always remember when my Auntie Gladys, she was living next door to a woman called Veronica Caddy, but she used to always call her mother Caddy. And I had laughed, because Gladys had go town. I can't remember whether it's for glasses or for the dentist. I ain't sure about that, but that's immaterial. Anyway, she had go and have these glasses done. I think it was glasses. And Gladys come over, she's thrilled to bits. She said, Mother Caddy took, mind you, she's in her 90s then. No, when she was 80 odd. She said, she said, I couldn't, I had some handsome time. Mother Caddy looked after me, handsome, really proper. She said she took me in a cafe there, and we had a handsome cup of tea, a damn good cup of tea it was, honest it was. And she said she'd give me a great slice of regatta. I said, oh, we didn't laugh for us all at that. We'll be awful. I always remember when Denise was young and Paul, we took Paul and Denise down Penzance swimming pool. We took David with us, that's my cousin's son. And, he was some broad Cornish, he really was. I mean, I'm broad enough, but my God, he took the biscuit. Anyway, he was very keen on cycling, and I always remember this. He was very, very keen on cycling. And as we was going on, lots of people went by on bikes. And I said to David, look, David, see all they bikes going on there? I said, my gosh, I'm not a bikes in there. He said, yes. They said women's bikes. I said, women's bikes? I never heard of that. What sort are they? He said, no, women's bikes. They all had women's bikes. I said, yeah, I know you said that, but what sort of bike is that? I've never heard of it. Well, he had like, what's that one called, Raleigh and BSA or something like that. No, he said, no, they're women's bikes. And by this time he was shouting his head off. Well, come find out, he meant they were all riding ladies' bikes. Oh, Denise and me were honestly nearly wet our pants. Years ago, when Gladys lived here, I always remember that she wanted to get rid of a cooker. It was an electric cooker, so she sold to somebody, but the problem was we had transferred it from our place to his. So Gladys said to me, oh, I don't know, no, that some man from Almonds come here with a pickup truck, and he said, hurry up, missus, he said, because if you it's my dinner time, and I don't get caught with this lorry. He said, I got to hurry about back, because it's my dinner time. So Gladys said, that's all right, yo, we'll manage. We'll get the cooker on, and you can take him to wherever it was. I can't remember what it was. So anyway, Gladys said to me, she was there huffing and puffing and aving this here cooker. She and this man. Oh, man wasn't helping much, I must be honest. Anyway, she said to me, she was calling me Sil. Don't you dare do that. I hate that name. Anyway, she said, Sil, come here and give us a pound. So I said, a pound? Yes, she said. So I said, all right. So I trotted upstairs, went to my little safety box and brought down a pound for her. Well, time I come down, the man and the lorry and the cooker was gone. So I said to Gladys, here, where's that man gone? She said, he's gone. I said, well, here, what you wanted the pound for? She said, you silly fool maid. I meant help me aim up the lorry. I always remember when we were young, my mother said, I must make a cake for they children for tea, Gladys. Gladys used to work for my mother. She was my mother's sister. I must make a cake for they. Well, all day she was going on about this darn cake. So anyway, Mother and Gladys and Uncle Bob was in the dining room sitting down, and we children were in the kitchen. So Gladys said, they children are some quiet, Lily. That was my mother's name. So she said, yeah, they are, aren't they? What are they doing? So Gladys said, I'll have a look. So Gladys went in the kitchen, I had a look, went back in the dining room again. She said, Lily, they kids are out here eating your cake. Oh, the buggers, she said. So she come out running. She got to the kitchen door, and she said, oh, I made no cake. She'd been talking about it all day, and she didn't make one then. And another time, I always remember this. A man called Charlie Roskilly was a friend of my brother's. So he came in here one day to see Victor, because both of them had a shared interest in pigeons. So Charlie came in, and I said, come on in, Charlie, one cup tea, dude boy. Yes, mate, I'll have a cup tea, says Charlie. He was some broad, Charlie was. So Charlie said, I said, well, anything eat, do you, Charlie? No, dear, don't want nothing eat. Well, my brother Victor was here and my husband John. So I said to they, do you want a piece of cake? So one of them said yes. So he had his piece of cake, and Charlie said, hey, mate, that cake is looking handsome. I think I will have a piece. Okay, Charlie, says I. So I cut a piece of cake off for him and give him the tea plate, and Charlie took the whole cake and left the slice on the big plate and sat down in it, and I laughed. My husband and brother were nearly hysterical. I didn't even know where to put myself, but Charlie ate all the cake. I always remember when my boy was small, he wasn't very old, and he got thrown out of what used to be the, what's they call that, the Wimpy in Camborne then. We took him down there for a cup of tea in the middle of the morning, and behind us was a box of plants, like, for make the place look a bit nice. Well, not content with that, Matty got up there and lay across him. He had earth every flame aware. Well, I got him down from there, because he was like a worm, honest he was. He bugger was everywhere. And I got him down from there, and then we were sitting down, and the girl come up, and she said, what can I get you? So I think my daughter was with me, and we ordered a cup of coffee for we two, and a cold drink for the boy. And she said, what you want? So off she went with this order. And he thought she took too long to come. So when she come back, he said, you little bugger, and thrown a glass ashtray at her. And we got thrown out of there. We told not to bring him back no more till he was older. And this was true. And another time when he was 2.5, and he was go to Sunday school with his sister. She was 15 and he was 2.5. And she said, in the end, she said she wouldn't sit when I was asked to take away from Sunday school too, because he would get up and sing in a very loud voice. He would march up and down when they're supposed to be sitting. And when they were sitting, he used to get up and play the piano. Plunk, plunk, plunk. And some music. And they used to catch all of them and put them back and tell them to sit down again. Well, then he was got up on the balcony and throw chairs down on the ladies. It was only little chairs, if you remember, at Sunday school. So I was asked to hang away from there. He was a good boy, I don't think. Then he locked me in the bedroom with the doctor. And I said to him, Paul, if you don't open this door, I'm going to give you some ida. And he said, you can't, because you're locked in. Smart little brat, wasn't he? But he was a terror. And I thought, I don't know what doing. We used to have put wire netting over his cot when he was little, keeping the cot. But instead of doing that, Father dropped the fittings of the spring, and we dropped the spring down so that he couldn't climb out, because he used to wake me up every morning by throwing scales on my face. And we used to have one of their great big old-fashioned wardrobes. My cracky, they nearly took up half the wall. And I can't see. I'm blind as a bat with my glasses. He was strolling behind there. And I'd wait till one of the men come home dinner time before I could get my glasses out. Dear old boy he was. I tell you, he was a demon. And my brother, naughty boy, he was teaching to swear. Oh, he was a demon for that. So I was here writing a shopping list one day, and Paul swore. He said, you bugger about something or other. I said, now look, my son, if you don't stop that swearing, when Christmas come, you won't have any toys. I got your Christmas list here, and every time you swear, I'm going to cross off a toy. So he said, oh. So Matty went on swearing, and Matty went on swearing. So he swore again another day. I said, right, your list is getting smaller and smaller all the time. You went on nothing for Christmas, the rate you're going on. So he said, how many have I got left now? I said 3. He said, bugger, bugger, bugger. Now I haven't got none. And that was him. He was a little Turk. I took him shot once. We had a cat. Let's remember it. We had a cat. And old cat was very fussy about what she ate. She really was. Pussy old thing she was. Anyway, we went up shop, and he resented going. See, really, that was the truth of the matter. So this woman spoke to him. She said to him, hello, dear. And he never spoke to her. She said, cat got your tongue? He said, my cat don't like bloody tongue. That was the sort of dear old boy he was. And when he was schooling, he was like rest home and watch telly. I think most of them did when they were young these days, don't you? Anyway, we come on. I said, you got to go town and have your hair cut. He said, oh, I don't want to. I said, well, you're going. So I cut and hold his hand, and off we went to the hairdressers, or the barbers. So he said, met my neighbour in there with her grandson. He was having his hair cut as well. And there was a man in the chair and another man waiting, and we 2 women and these 2 boys and one other customer. So my kid, my dear little boy, said in a very loud treble voice, this barber ought to be in the Guinness Book of Records. And like a fool, I kept my mouth shut. I know better. My neighbour said, how's that in Paul? He said, 'cause he's the slowest bloody barber in town. Duh, I could have crawled in the rat's hole, I tell you straight. It was awful.